The point guard is one of the most stacked positions in the NBA today. From point guards that have been dominating forever, like Steph and Dame, to up-and-coming superstars like Luka Doncic and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, point guards are some of the most exciting watches day in and day out. And that is exactly why in today's video we're going to be ranking the top 10 point guards in the NBA. Let's get into it. Alright, at number 10, I have Tyrese Haliburton from the Indiana Pacers. Last season, he was an all-star. He averaged 20 points per game and 10 assists, one of the few people in the league to average 10 assists. We know he's an amazing passer, can get that scoring up a little bit, and I'm sure he will with the Indiana Pacers. He's growing only at 23 years old. He's getting that Olympic experience right now, even though he's not playing very much. Tyrese Haliburton at number 10, I think, is perfect. Next up at number 9, I have De'Aaron Fox Swipa, one of the most exciting players in the league to watch, one of the most explosive players, fastest players. Last season, he averaged 26 points per game, was not an all-star actually, while Tyrese Haliburton was, so I could see why some people might put him lower than Tyrese, but I think that he's been one of the most crucial parts of Sacramento Kings, almost got them to the playoffs last year. Also one of the most clutch players in the league, De'Aaron Fox at number 9. At number 8, we have the other 23-year-old Tyrese Maxey from the Philadelphia 76ers. Last season, he averaged 25 points per game, 26, let's round up for him, was an all-star for the first time ever. He also won most improved player. He's one of the most exciting shooters in the game as well. 37% from 3 last season, which was a little bit down from the previous season before that, which was 43% from 3. So we know that he can shoot the ball. He is going to be playing alongside Paul George next season. Tyrese Maxey at number 8. Next up at number 7, we have Ja Morant. Hear me out. I know he didn't play that much last season. He only played 9 games, obviously, but Ja Morant is still the Ja Morant that was dominating the league before he was suspended and had all this stuff happen. He averaged 25 points per game in the limited amount of games that he played last season. We know he's one of the most explosive people in the league. He's one of the most clutch players. Ja Morant is just a dominant point guard, and we know that. Number 7 is the lowest I can put him, I'm sorry. Next up at number 6, we have someone who surprised a lot of people this season, made the next fun again, Jalen Brunson. He averaged 28 points per game last season. He was 5th in MVP voting. Can you believe that? Jalen Brunson, from playing with Luka Doncic, was a role player almost, and now he's a superstar, up-and-coming superstar, 27 years old, so a little bit of a late bloomer, but was a first-time all-star last season. He's gonna have a bunch of running mates next season with Mikal Bridges now on the team, so Jalen Brunson, I'm sure, is going to just keep getting better and better. Him at number 6. Next up at number 5, I have, in my opinion, the best defensive point guard in the league, Jrue Holiday, for the Boston Celtics, of course, who just won a championship, and Jrue Holiday is playing for gold in the Olympics right now, and really actually being a really contributing factor. He's playing a lot for Steve Kerr, and obviously for good reason, because he's such a good player. He fits in so well with everyone else on the court, no matter who he plays with. He's been on so many different teams, but of course the best fit in Boston because he just won a championship. He's only been an all-star 2 times in his career, but I just think that I have to put him so high because of his ability to fit in, like I said earlier, his defense. He's also able to score in the most important moments when they really need him to step up. So Jrue Holiday, one of my most favorite players in the league to watch, even though he's not a razzle-dazzle type guy. Jrue Holiday at number 5. Alright, getting into the top 4, getting towards the top of the list, it's Dame time right now. Damian Lillard at number 4. As we know, a multi-time all-star. In his first season with the Milwaukee Bucks last season, he averaged 24 points per game, so a little bit down from his 30-point seasons with the Portland Trailblazers. That's obviously what's going to come when you're playing with another dominant scorer in Giannis and also playing alongside Chris Middleton, but I know that he'll bounce back. He's one of the most dominant shooters, of course, along with Steph Curry, long-range shooters from 3, and can hit a bunch of those logo shots, as we know. So Dame is a very unique player. Obviously, I think the most clutch player in the league over the last decade, Damian Lillard at number 4. At number 3, we have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's leading the team not only in OKC, but also the Canadian Olympic team right now. He averaged 30 points per game last season, was 2nd in MVP voting. He is an all-star the last 2 seasons, definitely one of the most up-and-coming superstars, the definition of that. In fact, ever since he got traded from LA, he's just been on the rise and just getting better and better every season. The defense is there, the scoring is there, the assisting is there. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is one of the best point guards in the league right now at number 3. Getting into the top 2, finally, at number 2, we have the greatest shooter ever, Steph Curry. He's been number 1 for the longest time, but there's someone else who has overtaken him finally. He averaged 26 points per game last season for the Golden State Warriors. For the past few seasons, he's been the only reason why the Warriors haven't sucked really, except for that 22 championship. He's been carrying the team as much as he can. He's obviously the greatest shooter, along with Dame, like I said earlier, one of the most dominant long-range shooters that we've ever seen play the game of basketball. Multi-time all-star, all NBA teams, you know the resume of Steph Curry. He's a unique, one-of-a-kind player that we're probably never going to see again. Steph Curry at number 2. And of course, that leaves who I think is the best point guard in the NBA right now, Luka Doncic at number 1 from the Dallas Mavericks. Of course, has been an all-star since his second season, averaged a career-high 34 points per game last season, brought the Dallas Mavericks all the way to the finals from a lower seed, and is going to be even more of a threat next season because he added Klay Thompson and other shooters around him. He was 3rd in MVP voting last season. I really think he's going to win an MVP, if not next season, really soon. Luka Doncic, I think, is the best point guard in basketball right now, overtaking Steph Curry. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander might almost be close to Steph Curry, but Luka Doncic is way better than everybody else, I think. Can score the ball, assist the ball. Of course, the defense is not there as some other point guards, but Luka Doncic is Luka Doncic. He's going to be the face of the NBA for the next decade. And that is the top 10 point guards, in my opinion, in the NBA right now. If you disagreed with me, if you agreed with me, leave it below in the comments, subscribe, and if you like this video, leave it a like, and I'll see you in the next one.